Hey everyone, I do have a very special tutorial to share with you, and this is my first tutorial that I've done in my new place, our apartment. So hopefully this setup works okay. And basically, my best selling thing that I ever had on Etsy were elegant origami roses, and people would get really mad at me on YouTube for not telling them how to make them. But it's, giving someone the secret ingredient to something you sell, like the Bush's baked beans commercials, whatever. But if I let everyone know how to make them, nobody would buy them. But I don't make them anymore to sell. So this is basically what we're gonna make. I call it the elegant origami roast, and the base of it is actually a flower itself, and the top one is a very familiar flower, probably to most of you, and you just stack it on top. It's just the technique and exactly how to do this that gets people, and it is time consuming. It's definitely not the quickest flower to make, and I've always kind of wondered. I'll get to that in a minute, but this is what we're gonna make. And so yeah, what you need, or besides scissors, first of all, to make the top part of the flower, you need a die like this. This is the Paper Studio one. It just has, I think there was 6 petals. Yeah, and any 6-petal die will work, and anything around this size. And you can actually make these flowers bigger or smaller depending on what your measurements. But to make them the standard size that I do, I cut 4 pieces, or a total of 8 pieces of 8 strips of paper. And I usually do 2 short pieces of one design paper, and then 2 short pieces of design on the long paper. And sorry, my TV just decided it didn't want to pause anymore. But these are all 1.5 inches wide, and you're going to cut 4 of them at 2.5 inches, and then the other 4 at 3 inches. So 2.5 by 1.5, 3 inches by 1.5 inches. And this is where it begins. Basically, you just start folding these things. And when I say origami, it's really simple origami. You don't have to worry about it not turning out, because it's darn near impossible to screw up. All you do is you put it face down, and then you fold it in half like this. Ta-da! And actually, this is what I was going to say earlier. I always wondered why, over the last couple of years, my index fingernails, once they start to grow out about this long, which I have black paint under my nail, I'm sorry, they get this, there's a dip in them, there's like a curve. And tonight when I was making this example flower, I realized what it's from. It's from making these darn flowers. I've made so many of them. I had like an order for 40 of them once, and it about killed me. And so, yeah, you might want to use your bone folder, but if you're probably not going to make as many as I have made, and you probably won't have the fingernail issue. But I find it's quicker to use my fingernails. So you fold all of them in half that way, and I'm going to do all the steps in this one piece, and then do the rest, and then come back to the video. So you fold it in half long ways, like that, and then you're going to fold each corner into where the fold line is, in the middle. And so you have that, and then you just pull the other one in, fold it down, pull the other one in, fold that down, and fold that down. And I usually actually glue these. Sorry, my glue gun won't reach all this far, but I put some glue underneath these flaps here to keep them down, because it's easier when I'm folding, when I do the next step. So I'm going to put some glue on those. Sorry, you can't see. I use hot glue because it dries quick, and that's pretty much, and it's strong. I've tried using tape runner, adhesive, ATG gun, whatever, and it's just not strong enough sometimes to hold this. And the flimsier this paper that you use for the bases, the better, because you have to fold it so much. It gets kind of hard. And so then you're left with this right here. And then sorry, glue strings. You just do another fold. You fold in this side or both sides back in towards that middle crease that you paid attention to just earlier. And this is where I use the bone folder because it's hard to get these edges flat where they meet the other fold. And then fold it in like that. And I'm sorry, I'm shaking I know my table is shaking the camera. I apologize. Almost done. Okay. And then again, I use my glue gun to glue these flaps down. And that's not really an optional part. Gluing those other corners down, that's optional, but this, you definitely need to get some glue on here and just, you know, fold them down. So I will go ahead and finish the rest of these pieces, and then I'll show you how to assemble it. Okay, and this is what I have now. Several minutes later. I have these 4 that are the 3-inch pieces, and then these 4 that are the 2.5-inch pieces. And how I go about assembling these is when I usually just use the 2 different sheets of paper, and then I alternate, you know, this is from one sheet, and this is from one sheet, you know, these 2 are the same sheet, and then these 2 are from the same sheet. So first what I'm going to start with, I'm going to pull these away, out of the way, and I'm just going to start with one of these. And these, if you didn't fold these perfectly, like, I mean, look at this one, that's not perfect. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to, no one's going to be able to really tell. And shoot, I can't reach my glue gun, it won't reach. I put a dab of glue in the middle there, and then I just take one of these and I stick it on there so it's perpendicular. Alright, and then I do the glue gun and the glue in the middle again, and then I take my next piece and put it crossways like that. Essentially you're just making another cross, but it's turned a little. And then for the last 3-inch piece, right there. Okay, and then I'm going to use the 2.5-inch pieces, and I'm going to assemble them right on top of this the exact same way. Just put the glue in, and I start with them kind of offsetting a little bit. And sorry if you can't see this. I don't know what the setup is really like, so this video setup. So hopefully it turns out okay, because I really don't want to have to do this again. I don't enjoy making these anymore. So if you ever see them on a project, it means I really, really wanted it on there. Okay. So this itself is actually not a bad flower, especially if you want to put like a button or some bling in the middle. Or just put any other type of small flower on it. It doesn't have to be the kind of rose that I use. But the other thing that I do, and this is optional, of course, is I like to flip up the points a little bit, like I have in this example. Just to give it a little bit more, you know, depth, I think. I mean, I don't know. I like it because it does make it seem a little bit fuller. That's what I was looking for, fuller. So I just use this paper piercer to fold them up just a little bit. And it's kind of, this will start to, eventually your finger will get used to it, but the points kind of hurt your finger a little bit, but it's nothing that even you grimace about or anything. What we do for the things that are beautiful. Okay. No pain, no gain, right? Alright, so there we have this right here. Next step is to use, I use four pieces from this punch. A lot of people will only use 3, and that's the tutorial I have on my channel is actually only using 3. The only difference between that and this one is I don't make any cuts to this 4th petal, and I just fold the petals down and stack the rest of them on top. So I will do that, and I'll show you really quick if you don't want to have to go searching through my other videos. Basically, you're going to cut through on one of these right to the middle in between the petals, and you're going to do the same thing on a second one, and then you're going to go over here to the side and cut out that petal. And I don't need this petal, I don't use it. Some people do, but I don't. And then I'm going to do a similar thing here, except I'm going to cut out 2 petals. And these 2 you need to save, so make sure they don't fall off your desk or anything. And this one right here, I don't do anything with yet. Otherwise, what you do is you put your glue here, and then you fold it over like that, so it's kind of a coin. So I'm going to do that with my glue gun here. And I highly recommend you use some kind of glue like that, or like the Fabri-Tac glue that dries quickly and is strong. And let's see, I'm doing the same thing with this one. This one's gonna be a little harder to pull over, but it will work. It's just kind of gotta be kind of rough with it. So here we go. I'm just going to fold it over like that. And then this one, I'm going to do a similar thing. Just have it folded over like that, and that's the easiest one to do. And then this one, so that you have like these points on the bottom. This one I just kind of push in, but then these two I cut off just a little bit so that they sit flat on top of each other. And there we go. And the next step is to take a paper piercer, some kind of skewer of some sort, like a paintbrush, anything. And you're going to curl the petals back here. And just real quickly. And these actually look really nice if you want to. I distress inked the edges of these. Because when in the example flower I made it, I was like, wait, this doesn't look like I remember. I'm like, I forgot to ink the edges. And some of them I do just stickles on the edge, and those actually look pretty cool. And this is that fourth layer that I was mentioning. All you do is just fold the petals back like this. That's all you're really doing, rolling the petals. And these are so, like, once you get the hang of these, you can make them so quick. You don't even think about it, you just do it. You'll never forget how to make them. Okay. And this is what I'm going to leave alone for right now. So then you're going to take the ones, you're going to stack them from the number of most petals to the number of least petals. So got my 6 petal, and this is my 5. I'm going to put my hot glue on the bottom of it, and then center it on there, like that. I do apologize, my hands are filthy from all the staining that I've had here. Oops, glue strings again, pulling things away. I'm going to take the 4 petal piece and put the glue around the edge, and then stick this in the middle. And I like to use this to put it down there because of the hot glue, and don't need to burn my fingers any more than I already do. And then take the 3 petal piece. We're going to glue that one in the same way. Okay, just like that. And push them down a little bit. And as far as this one goes, I do this a little bit, you really have to just decide what you like best. I just fold them back like this, roll them the same way. And then I take the edge on the side here, and then I start to roll it up. Like that. And then I just glue the edge together. And this part really isn't a perfect process. It's going to look different every time, at least it does when I do it. Glue stings are killing me. And this one I definitely cut the bottom off so it has a flat base. And then I put my glue on the bottom of it, which you can't see me doing, and then I stick it right in the middle. And there you have your rose. And the only thing that's left to do now is to take your base, stick glue in the center of it, and then stack your flower. And hold it till it dries. Voila, your elegant origami rose. Takes a while, but it is very pretty, and I wanted to show you guys how I make these. So, hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye, guys.